What evils emerged from Italia? There we have the persecution of the Christians, the mafia, or the fascism. Now another evil will have to be put on the list.
Hello there, Farel returns yet again, and what a treat have I prepared for you today. 3 Italian productions that sadly have crawled out of Italy and are now haunting the whole world. Now, don't get me wrong, regardless of that intro, I have nothing against Italy. Every nation produces crappy shows, but those nations usually either have a handful of good shows to balance stuff out, or the shows are so bad that they don't get an international release. Italy, on the other hand, not only as far as I can tell has only shit to show, but also its shit gets shown everywhere. It makes no sense, and I've had enough. That's why I'm going to review 3 Italian productions. We'll go alphabetically and start with Gormiti. To my surprise, when I announced to my friends that I'll review Gormiti, many of them did think I meant the toys. It is ironic, but yeah, the Gormiti toys came first. They were released in 2005 already, and have gained quite a popularity, even outside Italy. But to my surprise, regardless of the fact all commercials I saw on German TV talked of them as action figures, it turns out to be a trading card game.
Of course!
And so, it got turned into an animated series for kids.
Of course!
Well, how bad can it be? Let's see. I, in advance, want to apologize, but to get any footage from the show, I needed to record stuff directly off my TV, and, well, I mostly watch the show on German TV, so it's in German. I apologize, but you'll have to read subtitles unless you know German. I still am baffled by the fact that I couldn't find any episodes in English on YouTube. Well, I did find an English trailer for the show, and a British friend of mine did reassure me that it was indeed released in English, but this show doesn't even have a fucking Wikipedia page! Okay, anyways, let's go to the show. Let me explain the plot. It's pretty original. Blah blah blah, parallel world. The human world and the Gormiti world both need saving, and these kids need to do it. Yeah, I don't even know what their names are, but I don't really care either. It's not like they're that distinct. All I know is that each of them stands for a different element. The classic 4, except fire is replaced with wood. And as much as I love wood, I still find the reasoning behind this to be really, really stupid. Fire is evil! So there is no fiery good guy. And you might be saying that Avatar The Last Airbender did the same. so I don't have anything to complain about. Well, wrong! In Avatar, there were members of the Fire Nations that were not evil. And just because someone was not from the Fire Nation did not automatically mean they were good either. But speaking of Avatar, some people complain how in the show all nations are identical, except they have different colored clothing, blah! Well, at least each nation has its own architecture, tradition, law, political views, etc, etc. That's a lot, ain't it? Gormiti doesn't even have half that! The Gormiti not only look samey, they're also very poorly designed. For example, what are the Earth Gormiti made of? Rocks! Where do they live? Rocks! What do they eat? Rocks! And we basically have the same for all the other nations. That's really pathetic. But now that you have seen some of the show, maybe you've noticed something. Something I had noticed very quickly. Something that instantly killed this show for me. It's done by Marathon!
The rod, thy rod, and thy staff.
It's me!
Will comfort me.
I'm here now.
I'll prepare us to table.
What? You don't know Marathon? They did Team Galaxy! Still not ringing bells? Well, you do know Totally Spies, right? Exactly! So yeah, they're doing this shit too! Okay, but enough of this. Let's just watch a typical episode of the show, okay? It all starts with an earthquake. I bet the evil Lord Ladian is behind this. He's creating earthquakes in the Gorm world, and these earthquakes come over to the human world. And now our heroes will have to go to the Gorm world and stop Ladian! Okay, that's just me guessing, and the only reason I assume that to be the case is because that's what every episode is like! It's always some disaster, and it's always up to the kids to save both worlds! But, as always, these kids have their so-called lives to deal with, and we always get to see a bit of that before we get the action. This usually offers a subplot that will affect the whole rest of the episode.
99. Ich bin total schlecht.
Du hast 99 von 100.
Oh, you're asking, is he the geeky kid? No, sorry. He's the cross-dressing underage prostitute of the group. Of course he's the geek! I don't get why, but apparently these 4 kids live together or something. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, there's a 5th member to the group. Kinda. Razzle, I don't get it. Is he meant to be a Gormiti? He doesn't look like the others. He looks like a lizard, but he talks. Whatever. He helps the kids on their quest, kinda like Alpha from the Power Rangers, only not so corny. And with that, I don't mean he's cool or interesting, I mean he's totally boring and uninteresting. Also, for some strange reason, according to the trailer, in the English dub, Razzle is violent. I don't get it. Whatever. When disaster strikes, Razzle always calls the kids together and they enter the closet. I would make a gay joke about coming out of the closet now, but it'd be low class, unfunny, and besides, I think the idea that there's a top secret staircase to an ancient chamber inside a closet with a gateway to another dimension, yeah, it's weird enough as it is. First thing to do is pick a keeper. Who's that? Well, someone has to stay behind and play with these crystals and control the teleportation. search magic tomes for clues and other stuff like that. Kinda like in Persona, where there's always someone analyzing the enemies. But in Gormiti, it can be any person, just chosen by random. I don't know, I guess it's fair that everyone gets their chance at fighting and being sports, but I still feel odd about the whole idea. Why can't Razzle do all these things alone? Sure, he's a tiny lizard, but hell, he brought cans and a flashlight for the mission. He's not that weak, it seems. Anyways, the error girl gets chosen. Yes! Sausage fest! Okay, to explain, maybe it's just because of Persona, but I somehow can't feel good about a guy doing support.
Who is that? Is it just me, or does it seem like she wants to fight? What? Her power level! It's over 9,000!